Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations, where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. And I thought today we would take a look at St. Mark's Gospel, the lesson that's assigned for morning prayer today on Thursday. And we'll be working through St. Mark's Gospel for the next couple of days, and then once we get next week to Ash Wednesday and the days afterwards, things start getting moved around a bit because of the Holy Day and the beginning of Lent. So we do want to take a look at Mark's Gospel as far into it as we go. We're already up to chapter 9. And the primary portion of the lesson that's assigned for today is actually the story of the Transfiguration. And of course, we've talked about this in some of our meditations now, and it's hard to imagine we've done 280 something of these already. And so it's easy for us to say, wait, didn't we talk about the Transfiguration already? And yes, of course we have. It comes up in the Gospels as we go through. And we also had the Feast of the Transfiguration, which was back in August. So I thought what we'd look at today is what is the end of the portion of the lesson that's assigned for today. We know about the Transfiguration, and Jesus is glistening white, and there's Elijah and Moses, and then Peter with the 3 tents, all that sort of stuff. Please do read it and remember once again the importance of that lesson, the idea of Jesus' divinity, his divine nature kind of peeking through and showing forth through his human flesh as the same way that Moses shone when he was in the presence of God on Mount Sinai. But I thought I'd look at the ending because there's a couple of verses after the actual Transfiguration that are interesting for us because the disciples are beginning to realize that what is coming isn't going to be some sort of glorious triumph of Jesus being crowned king, and instead what is coming, of course, will be his crucifixion. So the reading assigned for today is chapter 9, beginning at verse number 2, but let's jump towards the end of it. Because after that, he says this, verse 11. And when they asked him, saying, Why say the scribes that Elias must first come? And he answered and told them, Elias verily cometh first, and restoreth all things. So, of course, the tradition was that Elias would return, Elijah, another way of saying that Elijah who went up in the chariot, remember the angels went up in the chariot, and Elisha saw Elijah going up in the chariot, so he doesn't die an earthly death. And so the tradition was that he would come back again to announce the coming of the Messiah. But of course, this doesn't happen for Jesus in a literal sense, but what does Jesus have to say about this tradition? Well, he says, and he answered and tells them, Elias verily cometh first, and restoreth all things, and how it is written, the Son of Man, that he must suffer many things, and be set at naught. But I say unto you, that Elias is indeed come, and they have done unto him whatsoever they listed, as it is written of him. And so, of course, who's he referring to but John the Baptist? And so, obviously, John the Baptist is not Elijah come down from heaven in a chariot. We know that for a fact. We know John the Baptist's lineage, right? His mother, Elizabeth, was pregnant of great age, and she had been barren, and here she is, she has a child. Her husband's in the priest in the temple, and gets the message from the angel, this is going to happen. And then, of course, we know that John the Baptist is a kinsman of Jesus, right? Because Mary and Elizabeth are kinsmen, are kinsfolk. And so Mary goes to Elizabeth, the Feast of the Visitation, and while they're both pregnant. So we know all that stuff. We're getting to soak all this in because we're reading the scriptures regularly, right? Both in the daily office and in our own prayer life. But what's important is that the idea is that, yes, John the Baptist ends up being the Elijah figure, to the precursor, right? The announcer of the coming of the Messiah, who is, of course, Jesus Christ. But perhaps what's most important is this right here. He says that, how is written the Son of Man, that he must suffer many things and be set at naught. And so Jesus is giving a nice warning to his disciples of what is in fact coming. That the time is coming when he will go to Jerusalem, he will be arrested, and that he will be put to death, right, for claiming to be the Son of God. And you know what? He should claim to be the Son of God because he is the Son of God. So anyway, I hope that helps to take a look at this. Sometimes it's a little throwaway. We're so blown away by the wonderful, huge story of Elijah being, or of Jesus being transfigured, that we miss this important announcement that comes at the very end of this particular lesson. Today is Thursday, and I do hope that you have signed up for a Sunday worship service. We do have our Sunday service online. You go through the St. John's website, stjohnsdetroit.org, and you can go ahead and sign up for that. And you can go ahead and pick one of the services, since we're limited to 9 people, plus the priest at each of the services. And I do hope to see you on Sunday in church. Hope you have a fantastic Thursday. God bless you.